They're lying to you again.
With the biggest oil disruption in history, Labor's saying there is no shortage of fuel in Australia. What planet are you all living on?
Can we send them to another planet? That would be good.
Well, let's be really clear. There isn't an issue with supply when it comes to fuel. There has been obviously an increase.
Yes, there is. We've just had farmers on. That's a complete fabrication. We've just had farmers on saying they cannot get fuel.
Kudos to Carlos for calling that bitch out.
Let's be clear, there has been a spike in demand. There has been a spike in demand. It doesn't mean
farmers
we do
in the
not have
country
enough
are saying this morning they cannot get fuel.
Well, would you look at that? Karl Stefanovic just called out a Labor minister for lying, and he didn't spontaneously combust. Australian media, you can do that too. The rest of you don't have to follow this political agenda and this propaganda. You can actually report the news like you're supposed to, and you won't spontaneously combust. Just saying.
As I said, Minister Bowen and Minister Collins will be working with industry. They've been talking with industry every single day. Of course, we've got to make sure the fuel can get where it needs to go. But the suggestion that there is some sort of shortage of supply in this country is not right. Yes, there's been an increase in demand. Yes, we've got to work on the supply distribution across the country.
Sounds a lot like there's a shortage.
And ministers are doing this. This has been incredibly unprecedented. But we have got more fuel in this country than we have in the last 15 years.
And there it is, the lie. The lie that we all know is completely false. And we had more fuel in our strategic reserves back in 2021. But they say we have more than we have ever had in 15 years. They're continuing this slogan, this phrase, to make you question your own eyes, your own brain, your own thoughts, because it's the media and it's the Labor government. And this whole thing is an agenda. They are lying to you constantly. You're not mad enough.
There's no, as we go to air this morning, you're saying there's no shortage of fuel.
In terms of supply, of course there is issues, and there's been some issues around demand because people have gone to the petrol station to buy fuel.
Because the media and the government have made everyone go and panic buy because nobody trusts you. Funny how they just turn it all around to make it your fault. It's your fault we're running out of petrol. It's your fault, not ours. Not the fact that we sold off all our oil. Not the fact that we're lying about everything. It's your fault. How dare you, Australians?
So, of course, there is an issue about making sure that fuel is where it needs to be. But in this sort of suggestion that there is a crisis of fuel supply in this country is incorrect.
And of course, Amanda, sorry, this is incensing me. I have got 7,000 messages from farmers out there in regional Australia who say they can't get fuel. They've got a weak supply that they've done on their own.
The government is, of course, working about how to manage the distribution and make sure that it's getting to the places it needs to get to.
Now, I've seen some people pushing socialism because they think that this is a capitalism problem. It's not really. It's not. It's more of a weak government problem. They could step in and regulate where this fuel goes, but they're too weak. Do not push socialism. We do not want breadlines. Look at Venezuela. Don't get me started.
Been a spike in demand, a lot of people going out and buying fuel. There's a spike in demand and the ministers are working together to make sure. But the suggestion that there's somehow not supply in this country, we have that in terms of stockpile, the most amount in 15 years.
Days.
So we've got to work.
And she repeats the 15 years catchphrase to get that back into your brain. It's all propaganda. But also don't panic buy, because this is going to allow the government to get away with this shit because they just blame you. The more fuel you buy, the higher the price goes. That's how markets work. Don't panic buy. You don't hate this government enough.